Your search is over, now welcome to First Mint. Looking for NFT content, look no further cause this is it. From Top Shot to blockchain, they got the data chops, analysis, and pack drops, the shows equate a hot. LG and Phil D, the best amongst others. Best brothers to happen to ball since the Ball brothers. So settle in cause it's time for the best show. Ayo Quad, who we reppin'? First Mint. Let's go.
Whoa! Hey, how hot is it where you are? How hot is it?
It's hot, man. It wasn't hot the last couple of days. Now today it's hot. Pretty hot, man.
Man, it's like that point in the summer where you're like, oh, fuck the heat. But then in like a couple months, you're like, man, I wish it was still super hot. You know what I mean? It's just sort of those things where like, I don't want to not appreciate the heat, but like I literally been working all day with like all the lights off because that's like how hot it is. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a weird feeling to have to not be happy about the heat. But
nothing
like
matters right now other than the fact that football is almost here. That's all I care about. It can be hot.
I can't imagine doing training camp on days like today. And I live in like Western Canada. I can't imagine doing training camp in like hot places in like the heat of summer like this. You know what I mean?
I thought I want to say this now because I don't want to get into crazy stories before we finish our little intro here. But because this is something that happened to me the last couple of days. I might as well tell you since I didn't tell you in private. Is that as you know, your nephew, my son's going down to the States to play hockey later this week. Big
reveal! Yeah, I don't think listeners knew that.
I don't know. I thought maybe we talked about it. I wasn't sure.
Maybe. Wow.
I don't know. Anyways, going down to Florida. So I thought of it. I thought of all the training he's going to be doing. So doing 2 or 3 weeks of training camp coming up later.
Dry ground.
And I know Florida. If you're not a kid from Florida, the heat will hit you pretty hard.
Yes.
Especially with stuff like that.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, man,
we don't know what hot is up here. Yeah.
Oh no. But with all the stuff that's happening with like LeBron's kid and all these athletes, like, okay, I'm not getting into the politics of that or what causes it, but it is concerning when you see all these below 20-year-old athletes who keep dropping with these heart issues. And I said, before he goes, I need to find a way to get a test for this myocarditis thing because, an example is that every professional athlete gets tested for this, right? Mm-hmm. And when they find some sort of, something that's not right, which has been the case with a lot of soccer players, especially after COVID, right? Because apparently myocarditis is from COVID, not from the vaccine, but from COVID, right? If you had COVID
from having COVID, it's like it's a long COVID effect.
That's exactly it. So I'm like, all these pro athletes, like Alphonso Davies was a great example for the Canadian national team. When he went to play for Bayern, they're like, no, dude, you're not playing because you have myocarditis and you're going to be out for 3 months. And I'm thinking, hold on a second. How do the amateur athletes, the young ones, how do they know if they have it? And how are they being allowed to return to competition?
They're not getting tested. Yeah.
They're not getting tested for that. They're just being thrown out.
That's what I'm saying. They're not getting tested. Nobody's testing for that. Yeah.
So for me, it was like, man, that's concerning because I like, man, you want to know. And for me, the increased heat that he's going to be training in, I need to know nothing's wrong. So I went the other day, took him, and I don't know what the hell kind of test this is, like an ultrasound. It looked like they were like, it's like when you go like an, ultrasound as if like, you're having a baby. They were like, first of all, the guy was the rudest guy on the planet. Okay. He looked like he did not want us there. All right. I was in the room. Maybe that's what he was annoyed at, that I'm in there with an 18-year-old kid. Okay. But I needed to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So he's just like so annoyed by every question I had. He's so annoyed. He's trying to get this thing over with. He did spend like 40 minutes doing the ultrasound. I didn't know you could do an ultrasound for 40 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah, looking through the back, through the shoulder, through the side, through the front. And then we couldn't understand a word he was saying at all. Okay. We kept laughing kind of secretly because we're like, man, what the hell did you just say?
Yeah.
And then he walks out of the room and he closes the door.
Okay.
So we sit there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, are we supposed to do anything? So I creep out of the room. He's standing there in his office. I'm like, okay, what do we do now? He's like, you can leave. So hold on. So I didn't ask you. We would have sat in there for like 30 minutes because we didn't have a clue what he's saying. And he's like, yeah, your doctor will call you in 3 days. I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I know you know what you're seeing. If you're seeing something.
Oh, no, I can't tell you. No. He's not the doctor. He's not the doctor. He's just a technician. I think, did your son get an ECG? Is that what he went for?
Is
that's
that
typically a
done
hard
through
test.
ultrasound? Is that through like an
It's not
ultrasound
the
type
same.
machine?
Like if ultrasound, you mean like where they
Mm.
put jelly on you and they use.
That's what he did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the ECG is like it's like little things like
Yes. So those little things, he's had
Yeah.
that before. Like he had a
Okay.
really bad reaction because to play sports here at all during the pandemic, you had to be fully vaccinated. It was like a really big requirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was one of the ones that had a really bad reaction to one of the shots. So when I took him to the listen, he's a big kid, he's strong, you know this. And when I saw him down and out, I brought him to the hospital because the kid was like just not responding. I was like, man, what the hell's wrong with this guy? I had to carry him. And that when we went for that, they took it very seriously. They're like, okay, they put him in right away, and they hooked him up to exactly what you just said. These little dots all over his body.
Yeah.
And they looked at his heart activity and stuff like that. And it turns out it was just, effect from the vaccine is what they labeled it. So they were like, you know what? We see a lot of that. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but I just want to make
that happen. Yeah.
But for me, it's really concerning though that young athletes are not like, it's almost like everybody should get, if you're playing sports or even if you're not, you should be encouraged to go check that out to see that there's no lasting effects before you play outside in hot temperatures and gyms where it's boiling, right? Things like that. Right?
Yeah. So, you want to know that you're healthy.
I do want to know. And I'm glad that it was an easy access kind of test to do because.
Wait, has the doctor called yet though? Did the doctor
No.
call?
Listen, they're like 2-3 days. I'm like, okay, like I don't know why it can't be tomorrow, but like, are you not sending the file right away?
For our American friends, this is both the beauty and the terrible part of the Canadian healthcare system, where it's like Phil and his son can just book an appointment at the hospital or wherever, and we got this great machine, and they're like, okay, come on right up. Here's your test. See you later. Like, there's no bill. It's free. But then the result and the way you process it is ambiguous. Like the doctor will sometime call you, but if there's nothing wrong, the doctor might not call you. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of up to you to guess like what the hell's happening, but a lot of parts of it are free. So that's kind of the toss up of Canadian healthcare where it's like, yes, it's free. Like you don't have to pay $20,000 to use this machine for 10 minutes, but if you have to kind of just wait around to know if there's something wrong.
Yeah. It's, but at least, right. So, but like I said, for me too, like, when you go running LG or for any physical activity you do, I'm thinking about it too, man. I had COVID, most of us did. And it's like, do I have that issue? Like, so again, for me, when I see these pro athletes getting tested and they find all these things, I'm like, okay, that's great. But what about the rest of us, man? Like,
dude, I find it scary when they're pro athletes and they get tested and then they still have a problem. You know what I mean? Like Bronny.
They didn't even know. Yeah, like
I'm sure that Bronny,
no idea.
I doubt that Bronny has never had any of those tests. You know what I mean? Like I doubt. Like he went into actually that's the details are still kind of
nobody's saying anything
murky. I don't think anybody. They kind of I don't know. Like nobody really talked about it after, and LeBron was like at Caravana in Toronto after and stuff. So it wasn't that. I don't know what happened, but he went into cardiac arrest.
That's
and
crazy.
Like basically the same thing as like Damar Hamlin, right? So it's I don't know, it's kind of strange that we didn't hear like much follow up from that. But even then, like even Hamlin's a good example that it's like, yeah, even pro athletes who definitely are screened for like everything that could be wrong, like all the time, something can still happen.
That's scary, man. And Damar Hamlin played a full game. Well, full game. I say that as much as a football player plays in the preseason, which is like, a couple series. But he played. He was back on the
weekend.
Played.
Yeah, he's back. He's back, which is great, which is awesome.
This just happened. Like it's insane, right? So
it just happened. Or
but yeah,
it does
so
happen.
It
is scary when it happens because there's also like 10 years ago in the NHL, there's Connor Hellebuyck, Winnipeg.
Yes.
When he was like still pretty young, one of his first games, he just like passed out on the ice like in the middle of the game. I think it was an AHL game or something like that, but same situation, right?
That's right.
So
you see it everywhere. It's concerning, man. So yeah, but hey,
well, it's hot out there, everybody. So take it easy in the sun, okay? If you're going for your jogs, do it early in the morning or late at night. Make sure you got a lot of water. Make sure you take a rest. You don't have to be the hero, okay? You guys. You got to go fix the gutter before it starts raining. Don't be the hero. Get a friend to help you. Don't do it alone. Okay. Make sure people know where you are and what you're doing. All right. Be safe out there.
There you go.
Speaking of being safe, Phil, did you hear? I got to bring this up again because last week we got to keep our streak going of talking about Barbie. Last week we talked about the Trudeau photo. Have you heard about how Barbie movie brawling is a problem? Have you heard of this? I saw a report yesterday that there's now like fights breaking out at Barbie movies. Hold on, let me find the
Come on, man.
movie.
Like, what?
Oh,
of all
yeah.
movies to have that happen at, I wouldn't have.
Oh
picked
yeah,
Barbie.
people are getting upset that other people like have their phones out and shit like that during.
But
during
that's
the
always been an
movie.
issue.
Oh yeah, but now it's like now people have like a serious issue.
I remember LG while you load
Yeah.
that up back in the day. The
Yeah.
only time I experienced major like theater chaos
Yeah.
is when they re-released the Star Wars movies back in the day. Okay, and people would stand in line.
I remember you took
Yes,
me. You
yes.
took me. Yeah, that was nice.
And
That was a
people
good-
were
that was a good
showing
Big
up in
Brother
full
moment, yeah.
costume
Oh,
and
man.
having like lightsaber fights during the movie in
Oh,
the,
yeah.
in the aisles.
You
Like,
don't mean the new movies. You mean
No.
they re-released. Because that's what people
Yeah.
forget that in like 1996, they took the originals and they re-released them with THX. THX was like the new, most amazing sound system that existed. And I remember, this is a very specific memory. You and I went to see Dante's Peak like a couple months before at the
Oh,
theater.
man.
Dante's Peak with Pierce Brosnan and I think Linda Hamilton, where they're in a little town in the volcano.
It wasn't Anne Hesh. No, that's Twister.
Is it Anne Hesh? No,
I don't know.
no, that's the Helen Hunt is in Anne Hesh.
No, yeah, that's right.
Who's in? Hold on, who's in Dante's Peak?
Dante's Peak is a good movie.
Dante's
man.
Peak.
I remember that.
No, it's Linda Hamilton. I think Anne Hesh was in Volcano, which was like the other movie studio made a similar movie where there was a volcano under LA. That's with like Tommy Lee Jones, I think. Anyways, you and I went to see Dante's Peak, summer blockbuster style, and as we were walking in, they were offloading the THX speakers, like the equipment to put in the theater. And we're like, what are you guys doing? They're like, this is for Star Wars re-release. I just remember being like,
how do you remember this, man?
That's how my brain works, man. I can't remember, really basic things, but I can remember that shit. You know what I mean? So
I do not remember that at all.
I remember that.
That's pretty impressive.
Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was Dad or something like that.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, here we go. Barbie movie brawl. Here we go. There's no sound. Here we go. There's going to be, let's skip forward. There's going to be like, they're trying to take a photo, and now there's going to be some kind of brawl.
But the credits are going by. The movie's not even playing.
Oh, here we go. Here it is. Can you hear it? Is there sound?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's see. Come on. Why is it Drake suddenly? Okay. Anyways, I thought I could swear there was something about a Barbie movie brawl, but anyways, when I went to
on a mini brawl, maybe that's why.
Oh, is that at Barbie?
No, not at Barbie. At his concert, when he threw a towel in the stands to a girl, and she caught it, and some guy came and ripped it out of her hands, and they started brawling on the ground. And Drake looked up at the crowd and told the guy, "I'm sending someone after you."
Drake,
not I'm coming, but someone's coming, and
I'm throwing. Yeah, all right, yeah, that's good. That's good.
I love it.
Well, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, let me know. Anybody out there, let us know if you had a fight at the Barbie movie or anything like that. Actually, when I went to see Oppenheimer, which is 3 hours of talking, if that's what you like, and also features every male white actor that you've ever seen in any other movie in like the smallest like 2-line roles possible, like every single person that exists in that movie. The woman in front of me kept taking her phone out. And she would take it out. And I don't mean she'd like tuck away like this. Like she would like hold it in front of her face and like scroll Instagram and play Bejeweled and shit. And people are like, put your phone away. And she like wouldn't hear that. And then she'd just put it away. And then like 30 minutes later, she'd take it out again. And I could like read what she was typing. Like that's how close it was to me. But I didn't want any of that smoke, man. Especially like
it wasn't like a cheating scandal or anything like that you see at football games where like some guy's like with his wife and he's texting someone like saying like, hey, like, yay, baby, like I can't wait. Did you ever watch
that show Cheaters?
Cheaters. And we talk about that all the time.
Cheaters?
I think we talk about that all the time. And the guy who got stabbed.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the Cheaters. It was a show on Fox like 25 years ago, and it was a reality show. This was like when what was the dating show, First Date or whatever, that had the pop-ups? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I do. I don't remember what it was called.
But it was like casual, like reality TV was more about like following people around doing things and not like Bachelor. And what they would do is like, let's say like a guy thought his girlfriend was cheating on him, is he would call Cheaters, and Cheaters would put cameras like in their apartment to catch her like doing another guy, and then they would wait for them to be together, and they would bring the initial boyfriend to confront them, and the people would just get into fights. And once they confronted people on a boat, and the guy who was like the guy who was cheating with, he stabbed the host with like a fishing hook. Like it was, he survived, but that was messed up, man.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's what you meant by like, you know, people doing naughty things like that. But
no, but back to movie theaters, LG. Did you ever misbehave in the movie theaters? I know I did. Like I don't know. Our mom and dad are listening. It was never with them, but I know that I definitely misbehaved at some point.
What do you there's a lot of different ways to interpret misbehavior.
Okay.
So what do you mean?
So in the days of laser pointers, I remember we used to bring one and like annoy the like these are the things that I would look to beat the crap out of people with these days in the theaters. If somebody else was doing that, I would definitely rumble. But back in the day, like we, you know, hide the laser pointer and in a popcorn bag or something, poke a little hole and like shoot it at the screen right on like the person's face, and everybody would turn around like, stop it, you know. But the classic was taking like a handful of Skittles. I don't even know if I can tell. It's too funny. And then launching the entire thing and making it rain Skittles on everyone. So you'd sit in the back row, obviously. Or not, actually, no. Back row was for the idiots because those are the first people everyone would look at.
It's obvious, yeah. It's like,
but
it's
if
like
you let people
back
sit
of the
behind
bus, it's all the hoodlums. Yeah, it's all.
But if
you
select someone right behind you, they'll see you. So let's say it's you.
Yeah.
So the back row is kind of the only.
You have to throw it up. You have to arc your Skittles.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't throw it at the people right in front of you.
And some of the old school movie theaters here had an upper deck. I don't know if you remember that, but there was like a second deck sometimes.
Yes.
So you go sit in the upper deck was prime for launching things. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Jujubes were ideal, like Sour Patch Kids, to throw because they didn't make a sound.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't see them in the dark, and they probably didn't hurt anybody. But Skittles, man, we used to make it rain Skittles from the top deck. And there's always one guy who gets super pissed and just starts screaming at everyone.
What the fuck? Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. See, this is what I mean. Going to the movies was awesome when you were a kid. And I hope it still is today, especially like hot days like today. Nothing is better than like going in to like a really air-conditioned theater, and then you get to eat like Skittles and candy and popcorn. Like going to the theater was awesome when you were a kid. I don't know about now. I think it's still like decent. I'm sure going to see Barbie has been awesome for kids who wanted to go see it. But you know what I mean?
But it's not like it used to be. You had to look up the movies in the newspaper. Like you had to
you had to know.
There was no reserving seats. It was
there's no like ads and social media that would show you like every scene and stuff like that. Like you'd see one trailer for it like 6 months before, and you'd be like, I got to see that when that comes out. And you'd write down the date and you'd like keep track of it, and you'd go see it on that calendar date. But you wouldn't like know anything else other than like the poster on the bus stop, you know. So I actually miss that movie experience. I actually try now that when there's actually a movie I want to see, I try and avoid all trailers. I don't want to know anything about it. I want to know nothing. I don't want much. Any big lines. I just want to walk in fresh. And I think that's how people write movies. You don't write a movie thinking like, well, people will see a 3-minute trailer beforehand. You write a movie thinking like, this is a fresh story for people, and you got to take them along for the ride. So that's my thought on movies. So What's the last movie you saw?
I can't remember. It has to be
Barbie.
No, actually.
No.
Your niece, my daughter, she went twice now with different friends.
Oh, it's that good. Wow.
Well, different friends want to see it, and I guess they love the experience.
Is it expensive now? Is it expensive to see Barbie?
It depends. For kids, it's not that expensive. Like as long as they say they're 13 for a lot of years, nobody really asks.
Yeah, you keep making that, for sure.
There's a big difference between the child and the adult tickets. And then what these kids don't understand is when they go buy the tickets, they don't know that they're buying tickets for like these special seats that like rock back and forth and all this nonsense. So it's like they got to be careful for that too. But I'd say it's like $12-13, something like that. It's not too bad. $8 for a child or whatever. That's not bad.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad compared
to
the
like popcorn and the drinks that kill you. That's like 34. That's like almost sports event.
You can sneak stuff in though.
Dollar store is the place to be before you go to a movie. 100%,
yes,
man, right?
Yes, exactly.
They don't ever check you at the movie.
It's insane to buy a bag of Skittles at the movie theater.
Stupid.
When you can get it anywhere.
That's right.
Beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not bad.
You go to Subway, get a whole sub, and sit there and eat it.
Yeah,
right?
Nobody will say anything. They don't care.
No, they don't care.
Last movie I saw, man, this is bad. I don't even know. It's been a long time, like a really long time. I think I went. Oh God, you're okay. You're gonna laugh at this. You probably could never guess this. If we ran a contest, I guarantee you wouldn't even be any of the guesses. Maybe we should. Maybe we should run a contest.
Titanic re-release. Was it that? Mermaid.
No, what the hell was that?
Little
That
Mermaid
never came out.
Yeah, they re-released Titanic recently
during like the chaos
25th anniversary last year.
Oh, okay. Not during the other thing. I was going to say that's
not after the
not
after the people died on the submarine.
I think we should do a contest. That'd be really dope. I don't think anyone would ever get it.
Can people guess?
No, it'll be hard.
Movie?
Okay. I will say this.
Yeah, give us a hint.
It was a sequel to a movie that was made ages ago. I don't know if I can give more than that. That's a.
I feel like that's pretty obvious in terms of like actually big movies that have come out in the last 2 years.
No, because they seem to be doing that with all the movies now, right?
It's true. Yeah, there's a sequel. Everything is kind of like technically Fast and Furious is a sequel of a movie that came out a long time ago, right? So
okay. Well,
how are people going to guess? People guess in the comments, in the YouTube comments?
I think so. I think anyone who's watching on YouTube, I think, or if you're listening, you can head on over.
If you're listening, go to the YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think my hint will probably generate the correct guess, because now someone's going to look up all the sequels of the last, whatever. But it was in the last year. Let's put it that way. Like, it was this sequel
like 12 months, like exactly, like it wasn't before August 14th, 2022.
No, it was after that.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that's actually the last movie I saw.
So if you guys want to guess, you think. And what are they getting a media pass for this? Is that what they get?
Oh God, no, I don't have any more of those.
I have some for you. You're gonna have to win.
I feel like I gave too much of a hint at this point. So
somebody still, so whoever has a fast finger, you know what I mean?
Okay. And you only get one guess, right?
Yeah.
You don't get you can't list every single movie that came out in the last.
No, yeah, you can only write it once. If we see
you write it once,
you're eliminated.
I mean, you use your burners go nuts, but you only get one guess at this. And if you get it right, I guess if multiple people get it right, we'll do like a draw or something like that.
Yeah.
But you only get one guess, and you already got your big clue. And on the line here is one of the sought after First Mint media passes. All right.
Ooh,
that's pretty good. That's what I would have been doing with mine if I saw it. So
yes. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
What is what's the update with that, LG? Have you put a massive block on these stolen media passes or what?
No, I haven't been able to. So the company that we minted them with. So just to recap, okay, we're done talking about movies. To recap, Phil got hacked, and as we just discussed last week, and we haven't been able to get those NFTs back. I got in touch with the company who minted these for us, or who has the platform where you can mint them. Fair XYZ, give them a lot of credit last time. They're not helping at all. So thank you, Fair, for making sure we don't use the platform probably again. And they said just go get in touch with OpenSea to flag them. So I've tried to do that. Haven't heard anything back, but it's fine. We're doing tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, today's Monday. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, we are doing the pass reveal show live on YouTube at 8:00 Eastern. For you listeners who always say you're busy or whatever, there's no excuse this time. You have to tune into this. Okay, there's going to be a lot of things going down. First of all, Phil is going to try and Phil. I can't reveal too much, but Phil, you're going to get a chance to get your passes back.
Oh God!
And what we're going to do? So there's two things going to happen on the show. One, we're going to reveal the passes probably towards the end of the show. There's a reveal button that I can click and it reveals all of them. I hope it works. And the other thing we're going to do is we have a lot of people in First Mint who claims that they missed out because they didn't know how to fill out a type form like Google Form style thing. So they're going to come on the show and essentially compete with each other and with themselves for their rightful pass, that they should have this pass, but they say they messed it up. So we're gonna hope that they can get a pass. And Phil, the twist is that when they win a pass, so do you. Okay. So that's the twist, is that Phil's gonna get passes, but only when they win a pass. That. So it's gonna be a bit of a preview of First Mint Media Pass Season 1. Okay, it's gonna be a bit of preview of things to come. It's gonna be a lot of fun. 8:00 Eastern. It's only gonna last an hour. We might give out some passes during the show. And also, just so everybody knows, anybody who's watching on YouTube, this is what the art looks like. This is, or not the art of the media pass, but this is what the poster for tomorrow night is. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to link it in the comments, but basically, season 1 pass reveal. There's a bunch of passes all over the place. There's a scene where it's like a green pasture and blue skies. I kind of modeled this after Farming for Love, the hit Canadian reality TV show, which has just come out. Yeah. And there's a bunch of passes, a bunch of llamas. Phil and I are some of the llamas. Joey Greco, the host of Cheaters, is in there right in the middle.
Oh, I didn't see
He's also one
his
of
name
the
was
llamas.
Joy. His name was Joy.
Joey Greco.
Okay.
Joey Greco.
Wow.
And there's also seagulls flying around trying to pick up the media passes. So this is quite the artwork. You could say this is a Mama Doucette style artwork, honestly. Because she does artwork.
Only people knew what that was. Yes.
I'm sure we could share that with them when it's somebody's birthday sometime soon. I feel like people would love to know that. So anyway, so that is tomorrow night. And then Phil, next Wednesday, not this week, the Wednesday after, we begin season 1 starts. I've already collected so many people have committed to giving prizes. You don't even understand. Every single sports platform that you can imagine is giving us packs as prizes for the stuff that's going on. I won't give any more alpha than that just yet, but holy shit, do we have a lot of committals, a lot of yeses when it's like, can you give us some sweet packs as prizes for this season? A lot of people out there are very excited. So tomorrow night is the preview show, basically. It's like a preview before the actual fun begins.
That'll be pure chaos. That's all I can predict.
Yes. It's going to be a fall of chaos, and we're creating our own chaos. And then sports, like you said, football starting. It's all happening at the same time, Phil. This is going to be a fall to remember right here. Once the heat clears away, hockey starts, football starts. We're going to have a good time.
Basketball starts. Everything else starts. College sports. Everything.
Hold on. Speaking of basketball, move on from the media pass. Obviously, everybody by now has seen the clip of James Harden calling out Daryl Morey, saying that he will never, ever again play for a team that is run by the liar Daryl Morey. Let's play it. Hold on. We gotta play it. I feel, and I need to get your.
I didn't see this because
I didn't. You didn't see this. You haven't seen this yet.
I never saw. I didn't even know about this. No.
Okay, so this came out this morning. This is on Shams' freaking Twitter account.
I saw some tweet come out, but I didn't see what it was.
So recap the offseason. James Harden said he wanted a trade. Some people were saying he's going to be traded back to Houston, or who knows where he's going to go. And then I think the other day the Sixers said, like, we're done exploring trading him. He's going to report to camp like everybody else. And then this clip, this is from like a James Harden sponsored event. Here we go. Let's play it.
Daryl Morey is a liar.
What?
Will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Okay. How do we know that's not like some voiceover thing? Like,
he's not denying it. He's not denying. This came out like early this morning. Yeah.
Like, you can tell that people are
12 hours ago. This came out.
What the hell is
from like last night or something like that? And this is from like some kind of youth camp that he's throwing with Adidas.
Yeah, like, you can tell the kids are like, what?
Yeah, so yeah, he's like, they're there to be inspired by James Harden, and he's like, also, by the way, the Daryl Morey is the president and general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers, also a former First Mint podcast guest, as everybody knows.
That's right.
Which I say every time. Anyways, lovely man.
Yeah,
lovely man. But yeah, so what do you make of this, Phil? Harden out of nowhere saying he's a liar.
I'm sick, and he just wants to be traded. He's doing everything to like sabotage being there, and he wants to be traded. I'm sick and tired of James Harden. I'm sick and tired of Dame Lillard. I'm sick and tired of all these guys that are. It's like the crybaby league when this stuff happens to me, right? What the hell are contracts for? Contracts, it's just like at work. Oh, I don't want to work here. Send me somewhere else. No, that doesn't work that way, right?
No, yeah.
Right? Like it's. I don't know why they feel so entitled for these things. I was actually having a discussion with a guy at work today, and it's. I go back to Dame Lillard again, right? Dude, you want to pick where to play? Then wait till you can sign your next contract. Then you can pick wherever the hell you want to play.
That's the whole point of of the collective bargaining agreement. It's like you're a rookie here, and then you sign your rookie contract, and then in year 7 or 8, you can be an unrestricted free agent, and you can sign anywhere you want. You do end up getting that freedom. But yeah, I agree with you. It is. I do find it. I do find it's too much now. You know, that it's just like, okay, this guy wants to be traded.
They're just following
people move. And of course, it's fun, you know, for people that love the NBA on one hand, because a lot of teams are completely different every year. You have new super teams every year that are being formed. A lot of teams have win now. So it is fun because in years like in the 80s and 90s, you'd never have the chance to see your two or three favorite players team up in their prime at the same time. But now, literally think of any two players in the NBA and they might be on the same team next year, right? You know what I mean? Like you're in this Whereas like before, sports in the 80s and 90s, there's no like, I'd like to play with this guy, and they just send you over there. That didn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
never
I think that, but now it's too much, especially people like James Harden. It's like, well, he's just going to be on a different team every year.
Dude, what
and
are
it's
you
just not going to
doing?
work
No,
every
it's
year.
ridiculous.
You
It
know?
really is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It annoys the hell out of me, but it's the NBA, and I'm just glad Portland hasn't budged, to be honest. You know what?
Yeah.
Either find the deal that works for you or don't trade the guy. Too bad.
Yeah.
And trade him somewhere else. If that better deal is to Detroit or something, take that deal. You know, who cares? Let him cry about it once he gets moved there. You actually don't owe Dame anything. What has he done for your city? Oh, he's been a great player. What does that mean? How many titles? None. Okay, great. Wonderful. Cool. He's been loyal this whole time. But you really, to me, you don't owe him anything, right?
No.
If a guy had won you like 5 or 6 titles and it was near the end of his career and he's like, you know what? For family reasons, whatever, I prefer you, trade me back to the East Coast.
Or if he was like,
whatever.
Like Lillard, top 10 player at times, right?
Right.
But it's not like he wins the MVP every season.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? It's not like he's constantly like in the finals and like, or even think like a LeBron like 8-9 years ago, where it's like, well, they constantly lose to the same team every year. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like those LeBron Cleveland years. It's like, well, they'd win if they didn't have the dynasty in the way, the best team ever, who then also added Kevin Durant. But it's, you know what I mean? So that it's like, okay, they're trying to make it work. And they did make it work once with LeBron. With Dame, it's like, yeah, you're one of the top players in the league. You're a championship caliber player who could be, but you're not like, it's not, I don't know if you have that level. And it's also, I think it's also been the Blazers to not have traded him before they got into this situation.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? I think that there's definitely like a timeline there, especially like age wise. I think Dame is what, like 34 now?
34.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, he's still really good, but there's not like 5 years of top talent left.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
Right. No, 100%.
So you're in a spot where you're trying to trade him as though he's 28, like a top player in his prime. Yeah. And maybe he could still play like that, but no team wants to take a guy on who could literally, break his ankle tomorrow and be a quarter of the player he was. There's
also nobody that has sympathy for it, to me anyways, for these guys.
No.
Like nobody has sympathy for Harden. Nobody's on his side with this whole thing. And it's just like, I just can't believe he said that. Like, that's crazy. Like, what? Yeah. Like, what's the story behind that? Like, what's the problem exactly? What's his problem? I just want to know his problem.
Through the lines, I'm assuming it's that Daryl Morey said, okay, I promise you I will find a trade partner and we'll trade you out of here before the season starts. And then the other day he's like, listen, James, I haven't been able to find you a trade. I haven't been able to find a trade partner because nobody wants to trade for you. And you're going to play here. And then he's mad about it.
Okay.
And that's it.
Too bad. I wouldn't want him on my team like that, but I also wouldn't let him kind of hold me hostage the way he's doing and Dame is doing too, right? Like Dame's agents, like you trade him to the Heat, or you're gonna get, if you trade for him and you're not the Miami Heat, you're gonna get a super unhappy player. I think that's awful. I really do. I think it's terrible, man. That's just not professional.
This like super unhappy.
Come on, dude.
Kind of. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And it's different. I know you're saying like if you get traded in your workplace, you have to show up, or you can't ask to be traded. Like, I get that. It's similar, but this is also like, I think it really takes away from like the privilege of being able to play in the NBA and being one of the marquee players. 100%. Like, I think you kind of got to show up and remember that it's like, sure, if you're ring chasing, like that's okay. But it also, like, even Lillard wanting to go to Miami, it's like, is that where you want to go to win a ring?
I don't get it.
Miami was in the finals. They're not favored. They're not in the top 5 favored teams for this coming season. I know they're the underdog. I know the Heat lovers will say that they are absolutely a contender, but I don't know. It's not. That's no guarantee, right?
If Dame wants to go play for a team that's going to win a championship, yes, you're right. And he speaks someone other than Miami. I don't know where he's getting that. And it would have been easier if he was a free agent and in free agency, take a pay cut, right? To go to a contender, don't make a lot of money. If the ring means that much to you, then take that.
Yes.
But
yes, that's the part. That's actually one part I don't understand about some star players, not just the NBA, but like NHL, even MLB, is like the guys who are like, I really want to win a championship, but then won't take haircuts on their pay.
No, they want the max.
And they want the max. And I'm sure that's their agents, and it's also the union who wants them to take the max, because then that's better for the union, better for other players. But at the same time, it's like that's not how you win championships, honestly, or how you remain competitive for years on. It's like, no, you take pay cuts. You know what I mean? Like you have to take like 30% less so that your GM can get other like role players on the team and good ones, not like randos. You need actual good role players on your team, championship caliber role players to win championships. Good defensive guys. Defense wins championships, right? So, anyways.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, it's going to keep happening. The NBA has been like this forever.
Yes.
And as long as guys get away with it, and Kyrie with his BS all the time, he's another guy switching teams. The minute it doesn't go right, guys want to go somewhere else. When these super teams fall apart, they all want to leave. And it's going to keep happening. Like Phoenix will probably be the next one. It's not going to freaking work over there. They'll be like, all right, we're out of here. See you later.
How many games will Kyrie play this season in Dallas? Injuries and flat earth journeys combined. How many games will he end up playing?
No.
Out of 82.
I don't.
How many games will he play in Dallas? Just give me a number. Just give me any random number.
9. 9. I have a feel, although he says he's focused. He says he's focused and stuff. I don't buy it.
No, that's not. Yeah, show it on the field, man. Show it out there.
Yeah.
There's no. I hate when people hype themselves up. They're like, I'm more focused. I'm in better shape this year
more
than
mature
ever. It's like, no, go out and just show us, man. That's not that crap. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. And speaking of basketball, the World Cup's coming up. I don't know if you saw the Team Canada. They won that like mini cup they just played in.
Yes,
and SGA had quite the scare when he slipped on one of those floor-like logos. Because in Europe, they put all these floor logos, and they're very slippery, and some of them are not kind of well put. And he slipped on an N1 play, and he had to leave the game after the free throw. I'm like, oh, man. Like, this is the reason. If he's hurt and he's out and something happens, this is the reason that guys don't play in these tournaments. It just is, right? Right before the season, it impacts your employer, your NBA team, all that. You may be contract year for some guys. But I think it'll be a good tournament. I've watched a lot of the kind of exhibition games, and each team is the U.S. team, no matter what, even though they don't have the biggest names on the planet going there, the U.S. team is still stacked. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh,
like they're like, that's like the worst team they've ever had. And meanwhile, you have like Anthony Edwards and all these other guys. And it's just like, no, that's not the worst.
There's still the U.S. Any Olympics or any of that kind of stuff. The U.S. could field like 6 teams and all of them would be good. Like it's not that small, but I think that's another thing that I think a lot of people aren't really talking about. And you and I have been talking about it for months. I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it, but as soon as it starts, they're going to be into it.
Well, one of
these are basically like what?
Yeah. One of the problems, and this will be a problem for you more than me, is the time of the games.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like if this was in the US or something, I feel like people would be going bonkers, right? Like look at the world base. I don't care. You can hate the US all you want. And the whole aspect because it's a world sport, basketball.
Yeah.
But but the world does. They're like, no, screw the US. But look at the World Baseball Classic. Everyone loved it. But when it moved to the US in the later stages of the tournament, it was bonkers. It didn't matter who was playing. Yes, the US was playing Japan, but it was just bonkers because it's the way Americans are with their sports. Yes. I know it's FIBA and it's European style basketball, but for me, the games are all going to be, I put it on my calendar. The games are like at 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. for me. And for you, it's going to be even more like complicated.
1
games are like from 1 to 7 a.m. for you, right?
Oh my God.
Which takes away from it a little bit. It just does.
Where is it? So wait, where is it? Where is it?
It's like in the Philippines and
like Southeast Asia kind of area.
Yeah, maybe like Indonesia. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Right. But I know Philippines for sure. It takes away a little bit, right? When you don't have the North American audience fully dialed in, it takes away from it a little bit. Not that much. I'm telling you, people are still going to watch. But hype wise, maybe that's why. It's just, it's not like, holy shit, this is coming up. And I think the World Baseball Classic was actually the same. People didn't go crazy for it, but they started going crazy when they saw the games and realized who was playing and things like that. So they'll get excited for this. There's a lot of good players in this event. And I saw like Jonas Valanciunas and there's all these random NBA players playing all these like other obscure like countries.
I think that's fun because then I think it's like these almost like mini sub all-star teams. Yes. Right. Like I think that's the more fun part is actually seeing how stacked some of these teams are
with random guys on the side as compliments.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Guys you've never heard of who played like in the Euro Leagues or somewhere else. Is it Wemby's not playing, is he, for France?
I don't know. That's a good question. They didn't.
I think he's skipping it.
I know Giannis bailed, obviously. And
really? Okay.
And now, despite Jamal Murray being at the training camp a couple of weeks ago, he never flew with the team to Europe for the pre-games. And they said they'll make a decision on him like a few days before the actual event. So that leads me to believe that he went to the training camp, maybe felt a bit tired. Maybe he's like, man, I don't know. Or maybe he said, I need a vacation for the next couple of weeks, and I'll join you guys when the start of the tournament so that I don't waste too much energy on these meaningless pre-games, right? So we'll see. But I feel like if Canada, which obviously it's still, no chance really at a medal, but if a guy like Jamal Murray plays with the guys that are already there, that's a bit of a super team, and a lot of people will be, taking notice.
Why didn't he fly? Why didn't Jamal Murray fly out?
They said they're going to decide if he plays for the team right before the tournament. They're not sure yet because of the long season, plus the lack of an off season. But he was at the camp, which nobody expected him to be there. He was at the camp because he said he made that commitment, that 3-year commitment, they call it, for players to play for Team Canada. He made that commitment and he was there. But something happened at the camp in terms of the decision was made to leave him here for the because the exhibition schedule is like 2-3 weeks. It's a tour. It's a full tour.
Yeah.
It's not like show up there for 4 days and play 2 games and then the tournament starts. So I think Jamal probably took some time off. Whatever he's nursing and all that. And hopefully he decides right before the tournament that, hey, I'll join these guys up and let's do it. Right. So we'll see, man.
Nice. Well,
he has a shot at redemption with me. He has a shot at redemption.
I'll be excited to wake up, have coffee, and watch a replay of the game while trying to ignore any text about what the scores were, which will be impossible. It's pretty much impossible to go to watch the replay of the game without seeing the score of it. You know what I mean? It's like
the times are brutal, man. Just look at the times in your times. It's awful. It's really bad. So a lot of 3 or 4 a.m. games.
Oh God. All right. Anyways, hey, I did want to bring this up. I'm seeing rumors that Top Shot is pumping.
Come on.
Is that true? Have you heard anything about this? I saw a couple people say that Top Shot is on a pump right now. And I've been looking for evidence of this all day. I haven't been able to find like really much. I think my account is up like a little bit, maybe like up maybe a couple $100. So I feel like that's maybe kind of true, but I don't know. You don't know anything about this, that there's a bit of a pump right now?
No, man. These are the same people every year that are telling people there's a pump and trying to get everyone.
I feel like, okay, well, here's a theory for you. I definitely noticed that my account is up a little bit. It may be like the last...
That's ever since the trade ticket thing, though. Like ever since the trade ticket thing.
Well, the trade ticket, and then also the trade ticket and like the unlocking. I think like people were waiting on the sidelines to spend money, kind of thing. We've seen people in First Mint talking about they want to buy a LeBron debut, right? Which I think a lot of people see as like, well, that's the main. If there's anything that's going to be valuable on the platform, it's going to be the LeBron debut. Here, let's look at my account. So this is
here we go. Here's flex.
It is up a little bit. See, so it's up back to levels where it was a month ago. So I don't know what that means. So I think there is some stuff that's actually going up a little bit right now, but I don't know what it is. I looked at hold on, let's take a look at Crypto Slam. I actually went to go look for the data on Crypto Slam, and it wasn't really like that positive. So let's see. Can we go by day here? Okay, so yeah, there's nothing too wild. Like I think the data was up a little bit. How do you filter? Freaking come on, Crypto Slam. I gotta refresh it because I don't know what the hell's going on.
I didn't even know Crypto Slam was still active.
Oh, Crypto Slam still exists, man. Yeah, they got loads of stuff. Crypto Slam is actually, I still think, probably the most helpful data site because you can filter by blockchain. So you can actually see what's most useful on what blockchain or like what is getting the most volume. So you can even do like 30-day volume filter to see like which blockchains are getting the most flows. 9th in the last 30 days in terms of volume, secondary volume. Ethereum is, there's 246 million volume on Ethereum in the last 30 days. Flow is 7 million. That gives you a sense. Anyways,
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So anyways, let's just go to Flow because you can do this. You can go to Flow, you can filter by Flow, and it will show you, here you go, all the top projects. So Top Shot and historical sales volume. So this month it has done, this month it has done 1.159 million. Last month it did 2.1. So I guess it's kind of on pace to be above last month, but it also has 500 fewer buyers so far and a
This is
much
all
lower
trade
price.
tickets, man.
I think it's all trade tickets, and also this is okay. I didn't open up this segment to dump on Dump Shop, so that's not what I'm
No,
doing.
we call it how it is, though. We never come out here.
So the
looking at
unique
dump on
buyers
Dump
in July was 5,302, and that is the lowest it's ever been since December 2020.
I will.
It's the off season though. It's the off season though. So
it's the off season, but
I don't know. Yeah,
there's been things happening. I for one, and
it's not. Yeah, it's not dead. There's things happening, but yeah, go on.
But the things that are happening seem to be all for the same people. That's my issue. Okay, these freaking leaderboards, man, is like I see the word leaderboard. I'm like, okay, I've owned 300 or 400 moments, but I have no shot at these. I don't, like I don't know. I get annoyed by stuff like that. When it's okay to do it sometimes, but when every single announcement or whatever it is that comes out every week is about these leaderboards, and it's hey, it's only for you top,
and it's the same like
whatever
6
percent
names.
It's ridiculous, right? Like
every single time.
Who's excited about that? Seeing the same people win these things over and over again? Definitely not.
Yeah.
Me. So,
they
as
just
things
want
unlock,
they just want to cater to the VIPs who are the people who spend the most on the platform.
Well,
so.
I know, but you're never going to expand if you do that. Like, you're not going to keep the casual.
What about the minnows Top Shot? What about the little fish like Phil with his Spotlight series, 155 out of 155 set? What about him? When are you going to send him to the NBA Finals for that? Come on, man.
Yeah,
get this guy a Spotlight series T-shirt at least or something.
I have to.
I'm surprised they've never done merch. Right? I can't. I know they had like the ugly ass shirts that came out a couple months ago, but I'm surprised that they had never been able to do merch for the sets. You know what I mean? Like you hold the set, here's a shirt of that set, like straight up, super simple. The shirt costs like $2.
Something where as soon as you lock in a set,
yes,
you receive like a merch package. Yeah, I think that'd be really dope.
Yes,
man.
Exactly. You lock in the set, and even if you only made it for like rare sets or something like that, it doesn't have to be that extreme.
Yeah,
but just something where it's like you just get, and you can only do it once per set. You can't like lock the set and then wait, unlock it, and then relock it. You get merch again, just once per set. You lock the whole set, and you get a merch package sent to your house. A merch package actual cost, if you get all the shirts made in China or wherever, is like $9, $6 or something like that. Shipping costs another couple dollars. Really simple to do. So I'm surprised. I can't believe they've never done that. I can't believe the license doesn't let them do that if that's the excuse why. A lot of little things.
I also found it very weird, and they did this for challenges late in the year. I found it weird that during this whole burn thing for the trade tickets, that you were able to burn locked moments, right? Like,
yeah, that was bullshit.
For me, that was done before, but it's like, hold on. So I can't unlock them to sell them, but I can burn them.
That was BS. And they said in the blog, and we called this out on the podcast, they had said in the original leaderboard, like locking blog, that you will not be able to burn them. And you were still able to burn them. I thought that was total BS. I didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, it happened again for this thing, right? It happened for some challenges, and it happened for this this trade ticket thing. So.
Yeah, this trade ticket thing. I think that's BS. Why call it locking? That's literally the opposite of locking if you can still do something with it. Even when you were allowed to use them for challenges, I thought that was BS. I was like, what's the point of locking it? What is the point of locking it? But anyways, this is what we always do when we're talking about
That's okay. Hey, listen, man, we say good things most of the time, so we can say this stuff too.
So here's a totally different theory about this supposed pump. I've seen a few group chats. People are like, okay, things are pumping right now. And there's a few items that have pumped a little bit, like the grails, you know what I mean? Like the most marquee, like the Ja Morant debut, like that kind of stuff is going up a little bit. Here's my theory on maybe how these things pump. Because back in May, June, we were seeing an NFL all-day pump, right? Like things were up. We talked about it briefly on the platform. Since then, plateaued, maybe died off a little bit, I think. But I think what happens is that in the same way that the platforms in terms of traffic will mimic the attention to the sport, right? So it's like when the NBA starts, that's when the most amount of people care about the NBA, and that's when you're going to be able to convert the most new users to something like a Top Shot, right? Is like your biggest campaign has to be in the weeks leading up to the NBA season. That's when the most people are interested. NFL, now is the time to be launching your big campaign. If All Day has one this year or whatever it is, if they do one, I don't know what it is, but it's just like this now, right now is the time where people are like Hard Knocks. I'm thinking football, time for fantasy draft, right? So we know that part. We know that's true. We know it's true for anybody who does any kind of media around sports, sells products around sports. So my thought is An extra behavior that's happening is a few months before that is when these products pump, because the hardcore people, the people that really love the platform, they're thinking even further in advance. They're anticipating that there will be a pump leading up to the season. And they are believing that they're waiting for like the middle of the offseason when everything's dead. They see that as the bottom. So they go on a shopping spree.
Yeah.
That's what I think happens. So it's like May, June, the draft's done in the NFL. Nothing's happening. There's no training camps yet. That's the time to go on a shopping spree for NFL all day. Right now, mid-July, James Harden's calling Daryl Morey a liar. Literally nothing's happening in the NBA. You don't even want to talk NBA, or sorry, mid-July, early August. But you know that soon it will come. So that's my theory, is that we have a little August pump right now, but then actually coming close to the season, I think there'll be more of a sell-off, if anything, or just kind of like an even plateau. That's my theory.
Just stop with the leaderboards, man. I don't want to see these things anymore. It's just never end, man. Leaderboard. I don't like leaderboard.
Want to see leaderboard.
But I agree with you. I think that's what caused that recently. And that trade ticket, what are they called? Locker packs? Is that what they were called?
Yes. Or I don't even know.
The series one packs. Finale of locker packs. Is what caused all this, because people went.
Was that last week? Was that just last week?
That was last week, and every single $1 moment vanished for a brief period of time before coming back right after.
That's right. Yeah, and now they're all back.
And it makes me wonder, why did they come back after these $1 moments? It's like, okay, so as everyone was buying them, if you were going to sell for $1, why didn't you sell it for $1? If you were going to use it for a trade ticket, why didn't you trade it in? Why, as soon as the period locks or the ticket, the packs go for sale, do you start listing for $1 again? Because you could have sold those a few days before. It's weird behavior, and I don't know why people do it, but it is what it is. I'm definitely not going to be keeping. I'll be honest, I'm not going to be keeping all 300 and whatever moments. Like there's some, when I'm looking back at the older stuff that I collected, like these random, 60K friggin', Fred VanVleet. I'm just like, why? I don't need this. Like, for what? I'm never going to complete the whole Raptors set. So what's the point? Like, am I doing that just to try and complete it? I'm probably not going to do it. So stuff like that, I'll move on from. And I did trade some in for trade tickets when I realized I wasn't going to, but when I realized you could trade and burn stuff, I'm like, bang. All right. You gone. But
I agree with you that, I remember we were saying about doing merch. It's like, I think that there has to be some reason to collect, you know what I mean, for it to work a little bit. Like, there has to be something that you are like, because I see some people being like, all right, I'm just watching these 2 moments for a dip so I can complete this set. There has to be more like incentive beyond it just looks good on the screen, and then eventually someday you might get an airdrop of more of that set when they release it next season. I definitely think like some kind of really basic, like, and then you get the merch, you know what I mean? Any of the merch is super basic, like just the t-shirt and the hat, right? And a little badge that says, spotlight, something like that. And you could just go and get it. I think that would make a lot of sense.
I think so.
Right? Something really, really simple, some kind of acknowledgement where you get it, and that's it.
I think it's great. I think people would be competing to get to that, and
yes,
it'd be a really cool token of kind of a real life token of what you own. Doesn't even have to be a physical of the actual moments, but that's what I like about my NFT merch. Is just like when I do talk about it or whatever, I'm kind of like, hey, this is what I have this Huxley shirt, and this is a comic book thing that I collect in NFTs and whatever, and people are kind of like, oh, that's kind of neat, like I think you kind of want that talking piece and also something you can kind of sport. I'm actually surprised to what extent how much people wear NFT merch that they have. You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually kind of blown away. But even I know I'm wearing a First Mint shirt. You're wearing the Genies hat. Right. Hey, what's up with Genies these days? Can we talk about Genies? Clue. I saw a bunch of tweets from Akash, their founder, the other day.
Yeah.
And it looked like all the other tweets that they've been doing like for the last 2 years of like, we've been working with some of the world's like top tastemakers. I'm like,
dude,
I don't even know what the hell a tastemaker is, man. Like, honestly, listen, I own I went back and looked at my collection. I'm like, man, I own like a really extensive Genies collection. I do.
I have so much Genies. I have so much stuff, like Genies, man.
All these celebrities that had drops, like I have all their stuff.
That was one of the first things you could get in your Dapper wallet that wasn't Top Shot, right? Like it was a very early, like other thing to collect. Where do you even see? How do you see Genies?
Plus they had like that cool office place, and all these.
Yes, with the slides, and then the CEO of Disney was there.
Yeah, Bob. It was Bob Iger. Is that his name?
Yeah, Bob, who's now
Iger,
back at
makes sense.
Disney and looking.
He went back to
all
Disney,
parts of
so it was
Disney.
like, you know, the whole concept behind it was actually really, really cool.
There you go. Here's all my Genies. I have 133 Genies items.
Look at that
I have
Barbie
100.
block.
Yes, I have. Where was Genies during Barbie? This one I like. This is my profile photo. On
That's what's his name. That's
Tropo.
Yeah,
That's Tropo Farmer. Yeah, I have the Tropo Farmer Genies because that's when they did a huge run
right.
with all these NFT influencers, tastemakers. Yeah, they did all the NFT tastemakers. I think it was around when NFTs were crashing, but still, it was a good campaign. And look, I have some of the shit I paid for. Some of the stuff was free, but some of it I paid for.
No, some of it with the early stuff
Here,
we paid for. When we had all that free like Top Shot money sitting around, it was actually the first thing you could spend money on, other than
yes,
Top Shot.
you're right. And it was some of it, it was like $20 or whatever. All
this right here was paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, it didn't matter. Like at the time, $50 US for that was like, oh, who cares, right?
Here we go. I have one of the first 200 members. I'm serial number 44 member in.
They never ever opened a marketplace.
Which is, I think, which you can trade them on Floaty. You can actually trade them on.
Who the hell are there any sales? Like seriously,
not for Genies. Floaty mainly tries to get you to use Top Shot, which is good. They're having success there, which is really good for them. For like Doodles, Top Shot, Jolly Jokers, all that kind of stuff. But like Genies, like where the hell's Genies? You know, where they at?
I think we need to bring someone like Izzy on the show and just say, dude, like honestly, man,
show us like I want to, you know what I would do, and this is maybe we can get him on for season 1. This is what I want Media Pass season 1 to be about, is that somebody has to go get one of the passes that gets you on the show, get Izzy to come on and put his ass in the hot seat. And you know what I want to see from Izzy, who's like supposedly running Genies? I want him to open up his freaking Outlook calendar, and I want to go through week by week the last 12 months what he's been doing. I want to see how many fucking meetings he has scheduled, who he meets with. I want to show me
and for what
Evernotes or your Asana or your Microsoft Teams. Show me your notes from your meetings. Like, what are you doing? What are you freaking doing?
You have to tag Izzy into this, into like the breakdown of this podcast, because he needs to respond to that. And he'll
respond immediately. He'll respond immediately.
Else. Yeah, no, listen, Izzy's a cool guy, man. But we need to know what's going on with Genies. Like, they're not even in Discord
anymore. I said nothing
anymore.
About his character. I didn't say anything about his character. I didn't say that he's an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, he's a nice guy. I've met him as well. But I think a lot of people, especially with Genies, want to know at least with some of the other stuff on Flow that hasn't done well, we kind of know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, what was it called? Radio Shack? No, it's
Radio Shack.
What was the music project?
Oh, Record Shop. Dude, is that dead? Like, is it fully dead now, or is there still something going on?
There's no way it's alive. Same with like Ballers. Like, at least those things we kind of like somewhat know. But Genies, $88 million of funding. What's going on?
And they're gone from Discord. They moved to something called Geneva.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
I don't know what Geneva is, but they're gone from Discord.
Akash's Twitter. Here we go. Okay, he's in a meeting. They've been writing things on the walls. They've been writing things. They've been writing with whiteboard.
What is happening, dude? Like, honestly.
Here we go. He's designed some. See, so from his
they're still doing something. They're still doing something.
They're designing like dancing characters and shit. But what is the product? Like, what are you making? Okay, Genies is in the newspaper in India. Akash went to Japan.
Yeah, but we don't have an answer as to what is going on.
Genies Asia board.
So maybe Genies has moved away from Asia. But Genies was never about NFTs. It was always about digital identity, right? So what's the next step though in what we're doing here? I don't understand.
What is the product? Because there's also a world here where they are the back end of like other people's tech. You know what I mean? That it's just like, okay, people like an animation company or some kind of platform, and they're like, we need some kind of like really responsive AI avatars, and then like that's what Genies is trying to be. You know, but what are they trying to do?
What are they trying to do? And like, people ask me all the time because I was one of their ambassadors.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I don't have any sort of contact with anybody. And I know they're still actively posting, but like, I don't know. I don't really know.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Wait. I got the best one yet of Twitter scrolling.
There's still something going on though, unlike
No, here
record
we go.
shop in those places.
This
There's
is
something
from businessinsider.com, May 1st, 2023. A CEO is spending more than $2,000 a month on ChatGPT Plus accounts for all of his employees, and he says it's saving hours of time. So he's spending $2,000 a month so that everybody at Genies can have ChatGPT. That's it. That's the latest. Let's get him out here. Let's meet the guy.
I keep thinking you're gonna do that. I keep thinking you're about to bring him right out. But
yeah, I'm definitely gonna trick you one day, or you're gonna trick me into like just destroying somebody while we're doing the show, just absolutely annihilating them, and then they're on the show listening. I think that's actually a hilarious prank to pull.
I think like you said though, the media pass is great for that, and I think somebody needs to utilize
anybody
it
can come on the show
exactly in that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this space that need to be not called out, but that need to be questioned as to what the hell is happening. Right? Like for me, like you get that goated goat guy on here, like you're a hero. All right. If you find a way to someone like that, we just need to know what happened and what's happening, what's the story. Even like Obi, hello, dude, what's happening?
Record shop.
Like, seriously.
Is that not Radio Shack? Yeah.
What happened
Record
here,
shop? Yeah.
Radio Shack.
Yeah, where is Obi actually? This is okay.
Look him up. That's the next one. Pull him up right now.
Have to do
Let's see what's going on
during Media Pass season 1, and there's going to be a lot of different types of episodes and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be a lot that's happening.
We need answers.
We need one of the episodes or recurring segment has to be like whatever happened to ... And it has to be like we have to somebody like if you can get a message from Obi like that we can look at on the show or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like we definitely need, dude, what's Obi's handle? What's his Twitter handle?
Obi Fernandez. And also, just to tell you, LG, someone just posted in the Genies channel in our Discord and said this is the first update we get all year. Are you sure we're not live? Someone just posted something. I just saw it go by.
I don't even know.
I think it was dollars.
No, we're private. We're private. Oh man, you scared me.
Okay.
Not that I'd have a problem being.
No, I mean we're not saying crazy stuff.
Anything here. Like that. Yeah, we're not. Yeah. There's no reveals. Okay. No, his Twitter handle, Obi Fernandez's Twitter handle doesn't exist anymore.
Shut up.
There's
gone. No more Obi. No, he's not.
I can't
gone.
find him.
What about just at Obi?
Dude, this is he's tagged Obi Fernandez here, and he doesn't exist.
Oh my God! He just vanished. No, he's gone. That's it. No, that was his.
No, this isn't him. This is some DJ or something like that.
No. The one
is
you
a
just
Ukrainian DJ.
The one you just had was
it looks
his
like
actual
it could
handle.
Be. Is this him? No, this is him.
No,
yes,
Dr. Robert
creator of Record
Ford?
Shop. Yes,
what?
I don't know why it says Dr. Robert Ford, but yes, this is him.
Oh, it's his new alias. So he changed.
It's his new.
Kind of just.
Well, I don't know who is this. Is this okay? It's Anthony Hopkins from a movie from like 50 years ago.
This, man?
Okay, so I don't know.
Wait, hold on. So what's he been up to?
Okay, he started an AI company. Let's see what's new. Let's see what's new at Obi. Okay.
Come on.
I'm proud to be investing June 7th. I'm proud to be investing in the future of AI-powered virtual staffing. Olympia Chat is powered by tech from my company. We are Magma Labs and provide solopreneurs and bootstrap startups with talented and affordable virtual team members. Man, him and Akash should team up. Okay, here's some Mid-Journey art. Okay, here we go. This is somebody tweeted at him the other day. I'd nominate Obi for being the internet's hardest working Rails genius. Rails as in the Ruby on Rails, a programming language. Wow. So I guess Record Shop is done.
I think Obi and Akash are very different. I think Obi had visions of things that he wanted and that were just not ever going to be possible, right? Like the question, okay, here's the deal. So Akash and Izzy from Genies, I know exactly what I would ask them. Mm-hmm. I would ask them just to tell us anything as to like, what's going on? What the hell's happening here? Mm-hmm. Obi, I would ask him to elaborate more on that kind of wild goose chase that he sent us on with all those artifacts and that phone number that people were calling in like some obscure town in Michigan and all those things. Because he kept saying every time I'm like, oh, wow, people have discovered that number's handwritten on like the ATM machine. He's like, I will just say that you guys have no idea what's coming up. And I'm like, oh shit! Like
Dude,
he actually has,
that's
you
some
guys got like a
BS.
scavenger hunt. Like
No, that's the part that was total BS, man. Is there was nothing coming up.
so the
You have no
artifacts
idea what's
are
coming up.
booming, right?
I'm gonna leave the company and start an AI startup. That's you guys have no idea what's coming. I'm
Like,
leaving. That's basically what happened.
It's
Oh,
disappointing
man.
because we had a lot of
Yeah.
fun during those times. You know what I mean? That was that
was good. That was
guarantee
new
you,
projects. Yeah.
There was like a lot of people in the space will tell you when Record Shop was pumping and there was all this chaos around calling that number and all these things. People had a great time. They just loved what was going on because of the possibility of kind of like a game within the game and all that. And things were selling. Obviously, you could sell your stuff for a lot, but now it's just vanished and it's kind of weird, right? Like we're I don't know. We need to bring all these guys back on one show, and all of them need to go through like the trenches.
Same time. Where it's like at the end, and we accuse them all of being ruggers, of having rugged us on the projects. And at the end of the show, one of them is declared the biggest rugger. You know what I mean? Like, and the rest get like a free pass. Be like, all right, you're off the hook.
Why would
that's
they
what it could be
ever
called.
sign up for that?
That's the name of the show, Off the Hook.
But why would you ever sign up to be like the biggest loser? Nobody's signing up for something.
No, because you know what it is these people have the biggest fucking egos on the planet. That's the difference. Okay, let me show you something else about maybe not these guys. Okay, well, yeah, probably.
Bring the Dugout Dawgz guy back.
No, we're not bringing out the Dugout Dawgz. Now, anytime someone brings up Dugout Dawgz, I do have to go look at the art from Dugout Dawgz. Okay, Phil, can you tell people what Dugout Dawgz was?
Dude, I don't even know, man. Like how many? I don't know. They used to watch baseball games together on Twitter.
No, but it was a project, right? It was like an NFT.
It was a project, yeah,
on Flow.
But they used to watch like MLB Sunday night games together on Twitter, like.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So they'd hang out. We just got to look at the art. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is one of my favorite graphics ever. I'm just going to tell you right now. This graphic that they put out, this is the graphic they put out about the mint for Dugout Dawgz.
Look at that guy in the yellow. Look at the guy in the yellow.
Like, I can't imagine a graphic this bad. Like, this is horrific. Like, you don't even need to know anything about graphic design. And you can use MS Paint and make something better than this. But this is, and they made sure to have so it's basically a baseball diamond from like Nintendo Wii or something like that. And there's a baseball flying in the air. It's flying towards you. So it's flying behind home plate, which makes no sense. They have different little boxes showing you like all the information, but it's literally the most horrific design you could ever imagine. I can't zoom in, but there's these baseball players at the bottom. And I don't even know how. One of them is like Babe Ruth with a cigar. A bunch of them have tattoos. This one in the yellow with the huge nose and just the chin strap beard, who's like an Irish dude, is just
the one in the yellow is the most horrific one by far.
It's so scary. And our dear friend Gina, if you guys remember Gina from the live show and Twitter Spaces, she was hired by them to promote the project, and then she told us that they rugged her. They never paid her. Could you? I can't even imagine what kind of person runs this project and then doesn't pay people.
I think they were Canadians. I think they were Canadians from like out east.
It always ends up being Canadian. We talk about this regularly on the show. That always when it's the most fucked up kind of thing, there's always a Canadian wrinkle. You know what I mean? Like Rob Ford with his bumbleclot and all that kind of shit. Like it's always a Canadian. You know, always seems to be notable as a Canadian person. Okay, last rug of the day, WAGMI United, which you may remember was a project where they bought Crawley Town, which is like a 110-year-old Division III soccer club. Has now, well, it's a little too big, but it's official. The last WAGMI United team member has left the Discord. So apparently this project is completely over now. Just for
Are you serious? Context, is that what happened?
I don't know. Wow. But basically, like a little history of the project is that they took over the team. All the fans of the team in this local town in the UK were super upset. They made terrible moves, apparently, on and off the field. And everybody who bought one of these ugly devil NFTs was promised a merch package of a shirt and a scarf, which then turned out to be just the shirt. They said they weren't able to make the scarves. This is all last year. They weren't able to make the scarves because of the earthquake in Turkey. They weren't able to mint. And this is like, you know, your soccer supporters scarf. So any MLS game you go to, you can buy the scarf for like $9 or $10 or whatever. It's the most basic thing you could wear. They said they weren't able to distribute them. So now this account is calling them out, saying that the team members have left the Discord and calling out people who were investors and advisors, including G Money, G Funk from Pixel Vault, Adidas, and Phil. our very good friend, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, our guy.
When
and they defend themselves. Well, that's the other part I just want to point out.
Ooh.
And I was saying about big egos. If you do call people out, the ones with the biggest egos are the ones who will defend themselves. So here immediately, G Money is like, here's my input. I was never involved down communications with investors. And then G Funk is like, blah, blah. I don't even know what he said. Some other kind of bullshit where he was just like, I don't even know what was going on here. I just helped them.
What
Blah,
AG
blah, blah.
said.
But it's like, dude, you put your freaking name on it. Yeah, AG AG's doing
I
more.
do love
Calling
AG
out
for that,
Gary
man.
V.
He's always in the mix of these threads, just going off on people.
Yeah,
he goes,
exactly.
Gary V, where are you at?
Yeah, Gary V, where you at? So, anyways.
Oh man,
a lot of rugs today.
Posted?
That's this
when
morning.
Was that posted?
This
really?
This morning. This today.
Oh, because you know why, right? Because they started playing again. Like the English League started up this weekend, and Crawley played, and actually they're off to a decent start. But that's probably why it probably reignited. You know, like I would always joke in their Discord, like, "Oh man, I'm so excited! We're gonna get to like choose the pizza toppings for the players after their next game. Like, when do we get to do that?" And the mods are always like, "It's not funny." I'm like, "Shut up!" Everyone's laughing. Like honestly, you know, like. Yeah, when do we get to pick what color socks they wear at the next game? They're like, no, there won't be any of that. I'm like, well, why not?
No, you're not. You don't even get to do that. Yeah. Oh man,
Like, come on, man.
Well, they were trying to do basically what they thought they were doing is what like Ryan Reynolds and the guy from It's Always Sunny did.
That's right.
With what's the soccer club that made it to the first division?
Wrexham.
Yeah, that had the Netflix documentary, right? That basically did for F1.
That's
but
interesting.
For Wrexham. Yeah.
I feel that if Ryan Reynolds and I forgot the other guy's name, if they were to do something like that, I feel it would be run a lot better than that Cheetah guy or whatever the hell his name is.
Sports Cheetah. He came on the show.
Yeah, that's right. And I feel that it would be run a lot better and it would be run with a lot more passion to the point where if the whole thing goes to crap and they don't make any money off it, they don't care. Do you know what I mean? They'll still take care of people and be like, hey, you know what? You guys get to make these decisions. Who wears the captain's armband next thing? Like stupid shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like that they're missing. You know, well, they were popular. They went on a U.S. tour to play against all these big teams like Manchester United and all these other teams. And you know, it turns out I don't know if you saw this, LG, but their very first game in the U.S. on that 5-game tour, or their second game when they played Manchester United, Manchester United fielded all like a junior lineup of like their 19, 20-year-olds. And the goalie for Man U cheap shotted the star player of Wrexham, and he's out for like half a year. Like no joke.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, it started. It was like, man, it almost started a huge war. And he's the player that he scored like 30, 40 goals last. Well, sorry, that's probably too many. But he scored a ton of goals last year in all competitions, and he was the reason that they moved the league up. Yeah, he got taken out. So they're scrambling now to replace him because he's out for half the year or maybe the whole year. Who knows?
Oh, no.
Yeah, on a cheap play by the goalie who's not even Man U's goalie. It's like a junior goalie, right? So
that's too bad.
Chaos there. But yeah, no, the concepts were all great for a lot of these, right? Like I was excited.
Well, the concept, but it's a lot more work than people think to just like go and take over a soccer club and just run it. You know what I mean? Like it's like you need a lot of things to go right for something like that. And I think one of the biggest things that bothers me, and people are still doing it now, this still happens in NFTs, is when people are launching a project or relaunching a project, which is also happening right now, and saying, here is our amazing group of advisors.
Oh yeah,
for this project.
The word advisor.
And it's always people that are famous for having good tweets and doing like Twitter spaces. And it's like, those are not project builders. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather you have like Roham as your advisor than fucking Farouk or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like that to me, even so, or even, I don't even know Gary V, like people like Gary V, they put their name on like literally every single thing that fucking exists. You know what I mean? So it's like saying they're your advisor. It's like, what does that mean? They give you advice. They help you. Pharrell helping you with doodles. What does he do? What does Pharrell do on doodles?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What is he doing?
He makes a video that's going to be shown at the NFT NYC party. That's what he did.
Advisors, when you see advisor, that person's getting paid so that you can use their name in your project. They're not actually advising on anything. It's not like you're watching like a House of Cards and there's like White House advisors and they're all there in the war room, be like, should we nuke Russia or what? Like, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? That's not what an advisor is in NFTs. It's just a name. So I can't stand that when they're like, look at our advisors. Zeneca is our advisor. Like, what the fuck does that mean? It doesn't mean anything, you know? So I think the best advisors are the ones who don't just take money so that somebody can say they're their advisor. That's a real advisor. you know, someone who's like, I'm going to sit down with you once a week and you're
that
going to
doesn't
tell me
really
all your
exist.
problems.
That doesn't
No,
exist, to be honest.
no, those are called
Seriously.
consultants. You never hear about them.
That's right.
Anyways,
Wow.
you got anything else for today, Phil? Anything else you're pissed about? It's clear I'm pissed.
One thing that really, really drives me nuts, and if you get grossed out by stuff, like close your ears now.
Ooh.
I say this because this is served at barbecues a lot, and it really makes me wonder what the hell's going on. Why is it that when you eat asparagus and you take a piss after, it smells horrific? No, dude, I need to know. I've never looked it up. What is the problem exactly? And why does it last like an entire day? Like, it's disgusting, right? Like, I love asparagus. I can do like 30 of them, but it's almost not worth it. Like, there's some kind of weird ass shit that comes out of that stuff when it comes out the other way. And how does that make sense? It doesn't smell like that when it goes in. So how the hell does it smell like that on the way out? And
that's like a Seinfeld bit that you're doing right now.
That's a kind of question.
What's the deal with asparagus?
It's a kind of question that if I asked this in science class, I would have got kicked out for asking a stupid question.
You could say that about a lot of other things, because most of the things when they come out of you, they don't smell very good.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. I mean, this is not.
Yeah, I'm always terrified whenever I do have asparagus, and then I forget, and hours later, I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I was like, why do I smell like that? Or when you have beets, if you ever eat beets, and then everything that comes out of you is like red for 2 days, that like gives you a heart attack, man. You're just like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like, this is a scary thing, and you have to just remember that you had beets at some point. Beets are delicious, like beet salad, very good, but scary. A couple hours later on the way out.
That's right. Something else, if you're listening and you're in Florida, I'll be throwing a huge First Mint get together on the beach.
A huge,
as in, I'll be walking on the beach,
Daytona Beach, baby, and Phil D, First Mint. Just make sure you bring BYOB, BYO and fireworks.
Yeah, if you can find me in Florida and come up to me at some point while I'm there, you definitely get a media pass.
Forget trying to guess what Phil watched his last movie he watched in theaters.
Screw that.
If you can find Phil in Florida over the next week,
I'll be there for 4 or 5 days. If you can find me somewhere there and just come up to me, you get a media pass. 100%.
Oh, even better. I can't wait. Like, you get a media pass. Yeah. People are going to be hunting for you, Phil. People are going to be like tracking you.
I'm trying to think of who we know in Florida.
Phil.
There's got to be somebody in Florida. There's definitely people in Florida or vacationing in Florida as well. Right?
Americans love going to Florida.
They do. So do Canadians.
Yeah.
So
they love moving to Florida. Absolutely. Yeah. But Canadians love, like, especially Quebecois people love going to Florida in the summer or in the winter. That's what they love. A little condo there, going to hang out. So that's their place. All right, Phil, let's wrap up. Short one today, but I think we're both busy right now. We got the media pass. We have a big night tomorrow night for the media pass. Obi's
where people come in a brawl.
Yeah,
it's a brawl. It's gonna be a hall brawl. Hall brawl.
You don't even know what it is. I haven't even told you what the format is. Because surprise.
No, but we're gonna make it chaotic. Like it's got the party's got to start on time tomorrow. Okay. I'm very busy these days, that's for sure, but I'm not missing tomorrow night. And I'm ready to riot with the people coming on the show. And a lot of the people coming on are furious and very adamant that LG screwed them.
They don't know how to use the internet. Yeah, they don't know how to use the internet. That's the big problem for them. Yeah.
Somehow that form went haywire when they used it, only for them, though, not for anybody else. So we look forward to those people having a shot at redemption tomorrow night. And I think they're going to play dirty. I really do. I think everyone's going to play dirty and try and take everybody out. And it's our kind of game. I love it.
Oh, you think it's okay? I haven't told you what it is, but I like that you're thinking about it that way. I like that you think it's going to be a dirty game. So yeah, that's great.
I like that.
All right, Phil. Well, I mean, I'll see you again in like 24 hours, and we'll get that going. And
that's a live show. That's a live show for everyone who's listening.
It's a live show. Live show, 8:00 Eastern, 5:00 Pacific tomorrow, Tuesday. So maybe around the time you're listening to this, it's going down, baby. We're going to be live on YouTube. Come watch and hang out, and then the season starts the week after.
And we're also going to reveal the winner of the Phil D contest of which movie I last saw in the movie theater. So you've got 24 hours to reply in the comments here. While you're at it, hit the follow button, smash the like button, and put in the comments which movie you thought or you think I last went to see in the movie theaters. I gave one hint that it's a sequel of a very old movie that was very popular back in the day and still popular now.
Every second movie
only get one guess. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. We'll the winner tomorrow.
Wow. It was Bedazzled too. Or what's the one? Maleficent too. That's what it was. That's my guess.
Sean Avery. Yeah.
Sean Avery was in Oppenheimer.
He's in every movie now. He's a big actor.
Chris Nolan put him in Oppenheimer and in Tenet. Sean Avery.
Oh, Tenet. That's the one he was in. Sorry,
Yeah,
Tenet. That was the one I was thinking.
Or NHL enforcer for years, a very dirty and vocal player. One of the last great goons of the NHL was in freaking Oppenheimer and had like one sentence randomly. I don't know why Chris Nolan loves him. Yes. It's Mr. Oh God, terrible. All right, Phil, have a great week, and everybody out there, have yourselves a great hot week, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night. Bye.